What is going on, guys? Welcome back to The Shelf, and today we are talking about disc replacement programs. Now, I know I said in one of my recent videos that this was never intended to be a physical media channel, and I don't really see myself that way, and I tend to focus more on film commentary and things like that. But I've kind of been thinking about that and thinking about my place on this platform and what I have to offer people. And really all that comes down to is my own unique insight. At the end of the day, I'm nobody special. All I can really do is share my opinion and hope that some of you agree with it and find some sort of value in it. So I've kind of decided that going forward, that if I do feel compelled to talk about physical media, it'll be in sort of a physical media commentary sort of way. It'll be me reacting to things that are happening. Occasionally maybe I'll show off something. But probably not. It'll be case-by-case basis, but if there's something that I feel compelled to talk about, and today I feel compelled to talk about this, then I will do so. And what we're talking about today is the world of disc replacement programs in the physical media landscape. Now, this all came about when I was browsing Instagram the other day, and I happened upon this post from Second Sight, and it looked awfully familiar. It looked a lot like posts we've seen before, and it's this sort of white text on black background message from the studio or label that it happens to be. And in this case, it was Second Sight talking about their recent release of the Blair Witch Project. And they were discussing how this release had some sort of audio issue with it, and that they're going to issue replacement discs for people who bought it. This is a common thing nowadays, unfortunately. And for me, I'm someone who's slowed down drastically on collecting. I don't collect nearly as much as I used to. So a lot of these releases that usually get these disc replacement things going on are not things that I've ever bought, and thus not something I've ever had to worry about. Since I bought that Blair Witch Project release, this one kind of caught my attention. And in the comments section of all these posts, you'll always find people complaining about the fact that they have to get these disc replaced. It'll be someone in the comments talking about how these guys had one job, guest quality control's out the window, no one's doing that anymore. And I've never had strong feelings about this one way or another, because I just didn't have a horse in the race and I wasn't very well informed. But recently I got the opportunity to interview Mike Manello, producer of the Blair Witch Project, who had really great insight into the making of this release. And he talked to me about how Second Sight in particular spared no expense in getting this film transferred the way that it was supposed to be, because when they reached out to Mike and the other crew about doing this new collector's edition, they just wanted to do a new commentary. And then Mike happened to mention to them that the film didn't look right, and it's never looked right. And Second Sight offered to fix it. They took that upon themselves. Nobody made them do that. They did that because they wanted to. I would hazard a guess that a Second Sight release of Blair Witch Project, restored or not, would have sold really well either way. So obviously it helps to sell the release if they can market it as being fixed for the first time. But even if they hadn't done that, they could have still made a ton of money on this release, I'm sure, because it's Blair Witch Project and people love that movie. People love Second Sight. There are people who just buy anything Second Sight does. So I guarantee the thing would have been a home run no matter what. But so the point of this is that Second Sight does not just do things willy-nilly. They put a lot of effort, a lot of care, a lot of money into these releases. So it just kind of bugs me when people, complain about these disc replacement programs, because really all you need to do is email the company and they will send you the disc. You don't have to do anything else. Is it unfortunate that these things happen? Yes. And I understand that people pay a lot of money for these collector's editions and they expect to get a quality product. And I would argue that they do, but sometimes there are manufacturing errors that happen outside of these labels' control. I'm not saying that's what happened with Second Sight's release of Blair Witch. I don't know either way. I reached out to them for comment, but they never got back to me. Not surprised, but I was planning on making this video, and I just wanted to get as much information on these things as I could before I spoke on it, because I like to be well informed when I speak on things. I don't like to just talk out of my ass, but, that's neither here nor there. And so we don't really know how this error happened, whether it was a lapse on Second Sight's part or if it was something outside of their control. The point is, I don't think it matters one way or the other, and we should really stop complaining about it. Labels like Second Sight are a team of like 20 people. There are not that many people who work at these labels. Something like Scream Factory, maybe Arrow Video, Criterion, those guys, they're bigger companies. And so I understand that maybe if you had a problem with one of those labels, then maybe that would be, you know, a little bit more understandable. The thing about Second Sight is that they are not that big. You know, they are not that many employees. These things are a labor of love. And at the end of the day, we should just be glad that these releases exist. And if people really want to throw stones, direct some of that anger towards Lionsgate for A, not releasing the film and taking this upon themselves, because they are a much bigger company than Second Sight, and they could have very easily restored this film a long time ago. And it's only because of Second Sight that this thing is going to look good now. And because Lionsgate owns Blair Witch, Lionsgate can now take this transfer that Second Sight did and release it in North America and, you know, Canada, whatever the region they want. They can release it here whenever, anytime they want. They can release that new transfer. All the work that Second Sight did, they own that. So they are allowed to do this whenever. And if they do it, it will only have taken them 25 years and another smaller label doing all the hard work for them to do it. So just direct some of that anger towards Lionsgate, because, you know, they could have fixed this anytime and they just chose not to. And I guarantee, I'd be willing to bet that we will get a North American release featuring this new transfer. And if and when that happens, it will only be because of labels like Second Sight doing all that hard work for us. So yeah, I guess at the end of the day, you know, yeah, disc replacement programs are annoying. They can be a pain in the ass, but really, is it that hard to just provide some proof of purchase and send this company an email and then you get your disc in the mail? It's not a big deal. I really think people should stop complaining about it, especially when you take into consideration all the other good things that Second Sight does for us. But nobody ever likes to talk about that. They just like to talk about, oh, my disc has to get replaced now. Oh, what am I going to do? Oh, I'm going to have this extra Blu-ray that I don't know what to do with. Like, these are not real problems. These are problems that you're making up. So yeah, that's all I have to say about this. You know, this is not addressed to everybody. Most people are like myself and either don't feel strongly one way or the other, or they understand that, hey, these things happen. But if you're watching this and you're one of the people who leaves like nasty comments in the Instagram section of like Dawn of the Discs post or whatever, maybe just don't, you know, just don't. Anyway, that's it for me, guys. This is my thoughts on this matter. Let me know what you think about this subject. I'm curious to hear, you know, if there's something that I'm overlooking and maybe I should be more critical. Hey, I'm always open to be proven wrong, but based on the information that I have, I really just don't see any situation in where, you know, we should be condemning Second Sight for a minor mix-up that may or may not even be their fault. So yeah, let me know your thoughts down in the comments. Like the video, subscribe if you're into that sort of thing. We talk about new movies, old movies, physical media, and horror in general. So with all that being said, take care and watch more movies.